I'm going to talk about a female issue, and it is predominantly a female issue. We're going to talk about the pelvic floor. Now, it's really important that we protect our pelvic floor when we do exercise, particularly after we've had children, but you may find that you have a weak pelvic floor even before you have children. Now, as we get older, also our muscles start to weaken, so we really need to make sure we exercise adequately, so we're not putting extra pressure on the pelvic floor, and that often leads to doing things like low impact exercises instead of a lot of jumping around. But today I want to just go through a couple of things around the pelvic floor. Firstly, how do you even know if you're turning that pelvic floor on? A lot of people say, do these Kegel exercises and whatever, but how do you even know you're doing them? Now, if you can imagine when you're going to the toilet and you're doing a wee, if you're able to draw up those muscles and stop the wee mid-flow, that means you're using those pelvic floor muscles and they're nice and strong. If you find that you can't stop that flow of wee, then you've got some work that we need to do to strengthen those muscles up. So the other one you can think about also is from your rectum. Imagine you're trying to squeeze the rectum and stop some wind coming out. That's another way of imagining that those pelvic floor muscles are working. So I'm going to take you through a couple of exercises which help to strengthen our pelvic floor, and then I'm also going to show you an internal exercise that you can do. Obviously, visually you're not going to see me doing it because it is all internal, but I'm going to explain how to do it. The first exercise is a glute bridge. So laying on your back, bring your feet nice and close to your butt, hands out for support, and then you're going to raise your hips off the floor, hold it at the top and squeeze your butt cheeks together, and then lower down. And then continue this for maybe 12 to 15 reps, making sure you do squeeze your butt at the top, and at the same time make sure you pull that pelvic floor in. The next exercise is a bird dog. So make sure your belly is up on your hands and knees, and you're going to bring one arm out and the opposite leg. So it's working on your balance as well. Reaching forward as far as you can with your hand and as back far as you can with your foot. Keeping your lower back up so you're not getting that big arch in your lower back. The next exercise is a standard squat. So standing with feet shoulder width apart, keeping your chest upright, make sure the knees stay behind your toes. You're just going to squat down, again keeping that pelvic floor up, so pulling your insides up inside you and just bending those knees and hinging at the hips. Now this exercise, as I said, is an internal one, so it's going to be very hard to actually see anything that I'm doing here, but I'm going to explain how to do it and the feeling that you should get. So you're going to lay on your back on the floor with your knees bent, and you're going to put your fingertips just next to your hip bone. So you've got your hip bone here, and then you've got a muscle just down from there. So putting your fingers just on the inside of that hip bone. And then what you're going to do is you're going to imagine, and I know it sounds crude, but we're all women here, you're going to imagine that you're sucking a tampon up, or again, try and suck a wee up. Okay, so we're just going to imagine that we're drawing up, and as we do that, you should feel on your fingertips a little muscle move underneath. Now, we're not dragging our stomach down, we're not pulling our stomach down, all right? It's about drawing everything that's inside up, as though you're trying to stop something from falling out. So put your fingertips here on the inside of that hip bone, and then just draw up, and you should feel a little muscle move there. That is your pelvic floor muscles switching on. So I suggest that you do this one a couple of times a day. It's a little bit easier to do laying down than trying to do them sitting in a car at the traffic light. So I find I don't remember to do that anyway. And sitting up, I find it a lot harder. But if we're actually doing this one where you're feeling that muscle retracting up, it's a lot easier to understand what's going on. Now, if you find that you can't feel that muscle working, it just means that your pelvic floor is weak, and we just need to keep practicing. The more you practice, the more you use a muscle, the stronger it gets. The same goes with that pelvic floor muscle. Have fun with it. We'll see you again soon.